Welcome, everyone, to the final refrain, round 2 alliance, Rewpeskao versus AV8R. I'm joined here with Strawman. Good evening from me, Strawman. How are you doing?
Hey there. Good. Uh, Excited to be here.
Yeah, nice. Nice to have you. New audio, so if anyone in the chat can either confirm or say that the audio's not great, that would be nice to know. Yeah, we have another exciting match. Let's go over the presentation here. Sounds great. Thanks, Sydney. We won't do any spoilers for any matches, so we're going to try to keep that no spoiler free.
We were just hyping up Vargas versus Sydney, and I want to see that. So
Yeah, exactly. I was telling Little, did you see it? No, okay, you should definitely check it out. But today, the focus is on Rewpeskao versus AV8R. Rewpeskao from Spain, the Spain National Alliance champion, and AV8R, well-known player from the United States. Both won their round ones. Actually, Rewpeskao beat Varoctor, which was a surprisingly scary Katina Fiend deck. And AV8R beat Panic. Panic was running Witch Queen, or do you remember?
I believe he was running Thing from the Deep, Dark Discovery.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not.
don't panic. It's only a discovery. That's it with the Forgotten Guardian, and then yeah, that was a cool one. I see some fans from Aviator in the chat. So let's look at the matchup, and I added the predictions in the bottom, and it seems that people think that Aviator is favored here. Still 18 people for Rewpeskao. And there's been a lot of upsets in this tournament so far, actually. So who knows if the underdog can strike again. I'll talk a little bit about Rewpeskao's deck. You can talk a bit about Aviator's deck, because you've played against that one. I've played against this one. So it's a very fast logos with some on-demand archiving, which tends to be a bit better or more reliable than library accesses, phase shifts, that kind of stuff. Very, very good logos. 3 battle fleets, obviously with the key abduction, 2 nap seeds, but also the option to key cheat in Untamed if need be. So 31 efficiency and 7 recursion. A little bit of disruption. I'm not sure where that's coming from, the disruption, but 2 key cheats. What about Aviator's deck, Strawman?
What can I say about it other than what the name doesn't already say? Mars, Mars, Mars. So that time traveler, we're going to see a lot of bouncing of it. And the Mars pip on Help from Future Self means that you can just cycle it. I've seen this deck. I've never seen Aviator play it, but I have seen this exact build, and the way Help from Future Self can just cycle the discard back into the deck, so Aviator could play intentional discharge, draw some cards, get a few intentional discharges into his discard, and then play Help from Future Self, potentially draw into more. That draw pip on the time traveler.
Yeah, that's insane. That's
icing on the cake.
That's icing on the cake. Yeah, I see. The players are already in the game, so we're gonna speed up the preview a little bit. And I think we saw the most important things of the deck, but I added these statistics of the previous games because the interactivity is a little bit low in this one, I think. So on average, this is Aviator's game 1. He won on turn 5. Aviator's game 2 won on turn 4. And no key cheats, huh? No key cheats. Aviator's game 3 won on turn 6. If we compare it with Rewpeskao, he won on turn 5, and then he won on turn 6. So if you average it out, 5, 4, 6 comes to 5, and this comes to 5.5. So it's going to be very, very close on this one. Lord Judo voting for the underdog. I don't know where you got that idea. This is a random screenshot from a random person's Discord. It's totally not mine. No, but it is mine, obviously. So yeah, I like to go for the underdogs. Let's not keep the players waiting longer than they have to. I know the nerves that come with these games. So let's switch to TCO. Let me see if I aligned everything correctly. Hey, why is that the case? I see why. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, that's correct. And now slightly adjusting this. And then the width. I think we're good. I think we're good. Are you ready, Strawman?
I am ready.
All right. So yeah, let's go. A little bit more like that. A little bit more. There. Okay, maybe they're looking at the Discord, so we are ready. Okay, they are. It looks like Rewpeskao is the first player and Aviator second. I think first player is fine for the battle fleet, and I think Aviator probably wants to be player 2 because you can do a lot more with all the draws you get. So maybe, yeah. Maybe both happy with that. First turn, Rewpeskao hopefully puts a mother down or something. Doesn't do that, just puts a spectral tunneler. No efficiency found. Mars, yeah, go ahead, Strawman.
Oh, that doesn't seem like a good sign to me.
No, and this is a good sign for Aviator. Finds the time traveler right away. And a Dr. Zylo, does he have to discharge? That's the question. So Drew 2 cards does have it. Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's the start you want to see.
That is the start you want to see. And honestly, I'm a little bit in love with this deck because it's not your classical alliance, right? It's something unique, and I think truly unique because of the enhances on the time traveler and help with it. Like that's not happening in any other games, right? So he just puts on the gas, right? Plays the time traveler again, gets to cycle a lot of cards.
He didn't get any more intentional discharges, it doesn't look like.
True, but still, reaps with the Dr. Zylo, and plays the Jan Dillings. It was from the discard. And this one, after reap, discard a card. If you do, your opponent loses 1. But it also cleans up your hand a little bit. So cleans out a Logos card because there's no intention of going into Logos. The intention is to always go into Mars.
Yeah.
So turn 1, 6 Amber, and a very threatening board. And Rewpeskao does not have a lot of board control except for Nature's Calls. But do you? Yeah, well, that's the 2 you want in Nature's Calls. The time traveler. Yeah. 1 key already to Aviator. Full gas.
Just the speed of that Logos pod always leaves me in awe.
Is it a Logos pod though, or is it a Mars pod?
I think it's the Logos pod that is the core of it.
Yeah. But the joke is that it's Mars enhanced. So.
Oh, true.
Okay. Goes into Geistoid. So did not have the follow-up. So I think the Nature's Call was crucial here. Does get another discard on the Skippy to again use the Spectral Tunneler. It's now been used twice by Aviator and 0 times by Rewpeskao. So that's very interesting. Plays another Portal Guardian, protecting the Time Traveler, which you may want to bounce back. Another Portal Guardian. So very well protected. But again, the most of the creature controls, either Nature's Call or the Mothership support, So it's all targeted, and it doesn't matter that there's taunts mainly. Decides to discard Minerva's Wings off of Haunting Deck's discard. Is not haunted, so it doesn't get to purge anything, but that card later on might be useful, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Although I think the goal is to have won before it.
All right,
Play.
for sure, for sure. So two of those Haunting Decks can be devastating to some builds. But Rewpeskao is not out of it yet, right? So plays a very good Logos turn, puts a Mother down, Labwork and a Sloppy Labwork. So two cards in the archive, and an extra card is on turn 3, and we've seen that he can win on turn 5 or 6 consistently, and Aviator makes his keys naturally. So that definitely means that there is a turn 4 and potentially a turn 5 for Rewpeskao in this game. Xylo comes down again. I rank you the Clever and a Eldest Batch Miner. So stacking the board, capturing some amber along the way. But
I think Nature's Call was critical there.
It was. It was. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Back into Logos for some more efficiency. So still digging to get those key cards. Who do you think has the upper hand right now, Stroman?
I want to say Rewpeskao, but it could go either way.
I'm kind of leaning that way as well now. That turn 1 was insane, but because there's no key cheats,
Yeah.
the pressure has to be put on every turn, and this experimental theory on Dr. Xylo is also huge. It's stunned, and it cannot be used now. So that time traveler that is where did it go actually? Into hand, into deck. Was it actioned into the deck? I missed that one. Maybe someone
in the deck.
in the deck. Okay, so it was action back. Okay. If this wasn't stunned, it would have been a lot worse. I would think. So it goes into Mars, plays Junk Restoration, classic Mars card. Discarding Zizok and goalkeeping, but returns Zizok to hand. Plays another Mars creature. Plays another Mars creature, and there's the time traveler again.
Probably got some intentional discharges in hand by now.
Probably, yeah. Does put a damage on here. Will probably bounce this back to put another damage on there. We see some discards happening from the Yan Dillingses to take Rewpeskao off of check here. I would hope at one point for him, because it's still at 6. Is there a way to not concede this key?
If he has a discharge in hand, he can ready Cobalt and
scrap.
capture.
Yeah, or return and scrap. There's capture pips there. There's a lot of ways to actually do it. So if he really wants to, he can. And indeed, you mentioned the Cobalt Capulet can capture 4, right? Readying the Xylo doesn't do much. So probably you return the Time Traveler to hand and you ready the Capulet.
That's assuming he has one.
Assuming he has one, that's right. Okay, so there we go. Destroy them all, destroys experimental theory, which is actually not great in this case because the damage already done and the benefit wasn't there.
Had to do it.
Yeah, but does destroy one of the Portal Guardians to capture.
Did not have it. That's not a good sign for Aviator.
It's not, but he is on check for a second key.
That's true.
If Rewpeskao can make progress through his deck and archive and take Aviator off of check, then it's really, really looking good for Rewpeskao. In Untamed, I don't think that's happening though. So maybe a Nep Seed comes down, but it's not Nature's Call. Okay. So what would you bounce here?
Probably Cobalt. Maybe some of the Portal Guardians.
Definitely no creatures from your own side, right? Because that's yeah, maybe
You
the
don't have
maybe
much
the
in way
maybe the
out.
maybe the Portal Guardians, because we saw that those captures can actually be quite annoying. So the Cobalt and the two Portal Guardians, perhaps.
Could do Dr. Xylo because if he
Eh,
does have an intentional discharge,
true.
he'll get use out of it.
Tough call. Tough call, actually. That is not easy to make that call. So what in the end he does? The clever Capulet and Zyzok. So wants to protect his board, I think. Does have 8 cards in hand and 2 in archive. You
Protect his
must
board.
be thinking that he's pretty close to finding his battle fleets. So we're now on that critical turn 5 mark, right? Where
Yeah.
Rewpeskao has proven that he can win the game, and turn 6 as well. Same for Aviator. I'm fully expecting him to easily go to check on this turn.
Yeah.
There's no easy ways to take him off of check from Rewpeskao. So
Oh, there's the Dr. Xylo.
yeah, there's the Mars shenanigans with the
So,
intentional discharge and the time traveler.
so he can definitely take him off check. That's
Yeah,
it with
yeah, that's
Cobalt.
happening. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so takeoff check and 100% Rewpeskao knows that his next turn he has to go for it, whether it will succeed or not, because that's the only moment to win. Quantum Compass enhanced with Mars, great enhancement on an Omni.
Yeah.
But hey, still.
Let's the other ones
Ooh.
in such good spots that it's
Notably, the key abduction actually returns all of the Mars cards to hand, so the Parabyte being enhanced is a detriment here, even though the mothership support would have taken it out anyway. But that means you don't have to waste a Mars card to kill. So that's interesting. So six Ember for now. Captures 4 on Capulet, which that Ember can be used to forge keys as well with the key abduction, because it will be returned to hand, and that Ember will go to Rewpeskao. Okay, goes to Mars right away. That was a quick Mars if anything there was. So plays
yeah.
Battlefleet, 7 cards. Oh wow.
Is it gonna happen? Is the
That
question.
this is it. It's gonna happen. I think the second Battlefleet is there, and the third.
Oh, yeah.
So first Battlefleet, second Battlefleet, the third one is in hand. Plays the key abduction, forges the first one. Has to find another Battlefleet. Draws 9 cards. Yes, this is Rewpeskao's game. I think. Plays key abduction, has another Battlefleet, and then plays the third one. So again, turn 6, I believe, is the turn 5, turn 6 is the critical point of the game where you need to win by before it's all over, right? So 1 sec before they start. So let's see. I think this was turn 6. So good game to Rewpeskao for taking that one home. What were you thinking at the start here, Strawman, while I collect the logs?
At the start of the game, or
like how did you see the game develop? Like
when Time Traveler came out turn 1, I was thinking, oh, this is Aviator's game. But that one Nature's Call, I think, slowed him down just enough to delay it long enough for the Battlefleet shenanigans to happen. That was my thought.
Yeah, I had the same thing. So when you turn 1, you go to 6 Amber, and your board is like, handle it now, or I'll go to check again on my turn 2 and turn 3. I was leaning towards Aviator, but when I saw the Nature's Call and the game slowing down, it was more going to Rewpeskao, because we know turn 5, turn 6 is when he consistently pulls off the triple key cheats, and with no key cheats on Aviator, everything has to happen naturally.
Yeah.
And that is, if there is a flaw with the deck, that might be one of them. Oh, okay, they're recreating the
Yeah.
game, so that's fine. That happens sometimes. We're in close contact with the players, so nothing to worry about. Game two. What are your thoughts?
I think it honestly depends on how fast Time Traveler comes out again. But as we've seen, Rewpeskao has the tools to deal with that. So once the Mars board comes out, Aviator may just want to end up discarding his extra Mars creatures.
Yeah, yeah. I think Aviator needs to put check every turn. There's not a lot of Amber control in Rewpeskao's deck, if there is any. Let me double check that if there is any Amber control. there is 0.9 Amber control, and it's coming from Mind Warper. So yeah, let's consider that 0. Yeah, so that's nice of Rewpeskao to ask, you want to start or it's fine me starting, because the rematch didn't work and TCO usually takes care of that. This time it did not.
So how is T-Doctrine not banned in Alliance?
It is not banned, but it has been restricted, because now there can only be one, and some supporting cards, and notably, are on the list as well. So Winds of Death, Key Abduction, you can't do it. I think
Martian Generosity escaped the list.
it did, but there's only one Key Abduction. Yeah. Yeah, so Key Abduction is on it, and Winds of Death is on it. But Winds of Death obviously not in set in Coda.
Yeah.
They don't do bans yet. No complete bans, but restricted lists. Yeah. Ezekielina knows that. He's just probably referring to should not be like allowed. Yeah. Except exactly, unfortunately for Russians, no vodka allowed. Oh boy. Okay, into the game. Rewpeskao starting and Aviator second. So apparently that's how they like it. Rewpeskao double checking with Aviator if that's the case. Seeing the hands now, so I would say there's no way back. Because you could be like, oh no, I wanted to be first. You saw your hand, right? So I think that's what they both would like to, right? Because Aviator needs to go to check every turn. You cannot do that if you're the first player. So second player, I think, is preferable for Aviator.
I agree.
And for Rewpeskao, you have more cards to look at 7, and you can find Logos efficiency. So I think they're both happy with being the starting player and the second player in this instance. Goes into Logos after a mulligan, does get a lab work and archives a card. Now that's scary, but it was after a mulligan. Aviator starts again with Help from Future Self and the Time Traveler. It's probably even better in this order than just the Time Traveler. So again, we'll definitely make 2 Ember. Will he find Xylo and a Discharge again?
Oh, there we go.
Coming out blazing again. Rewpeskaos were like, yeah, I've seen that before. No biggie. Just draw my Nature's Call. It's fine. Yeah, let's see what is there to be found. So also a Yen Dillings discard. This one with the capture pip. Previous one was not with a capture pip, I think. Also bring it back. This is like a repeat of game 1. Let's hope for Aviator. Only this part is the repeat and not everything.
Can he get up to 6?
I am not sure. No. Crucially, not up to 6. That can be huge because that's one extra turn that Rewpeskao has. He now has at least 4 turns. Plays the
And
Shota and
Lock
the
Lightning.
Nature's Call. Is like, okay, I probably need some bodies on the board to maybe deal with that Mars thing. Crucially, Nature's Call coming down again. So out of the 10 cards played, I think we've seen 8 of them in game 1 as well. Also goes into Geistoid. I think that was the same thing previous game. Finds a Parabite with a draw. No, with the discard and a Mars enhance.
I mean, you want those discards because you want to get to Mars.
Yeah, you want to filter your handouts to where you're finding the Mars again. Does put a Echo Fly down in the Portal Guardian. We have seen that those Portal Guardians can be destroyed with Destroy Them All and capture onto
Yeah,
the creatures next to it.
but Destroy Them All is gone now.
Exactly, it is in the discard pile, so that option is not there.
You can't shuffle it back in with help from Future Self either.
No, no. So Junk Restoration played again with the discard on Zyzok. Finding Batminer, Skippy, and Daughter. None of them can be played right now, and does take Skippy back to hand. Plays a Parabite with a discard pip. Discard Jandeling, so all Mars creatures capture something, right? And then the Parabite itself doesn't capture anything. Plays Haunting Deck. There's no Ember left, so it doesn't capture. Goalkeeping. Interesting.
Oh, he's got the combo.
So the Echo Fly, yeah. So talk us through this, Strawman. What's happening now?
So he's got the goalkeeping combo, so he can just keep ready. He can just keep readying the Echo Fly.
And use the action to return back to hand. And because there's a discard pip on this card, effectively the whole hand gets cleared to find the correct cards, and that being Mars cards. So yeah, this is a huge turn. This is still turn 2, and this is putting a timer on Rewpeskao because he's definitely going to go past, or he's going to go to 12 with 13 Ember. My math is a little bit shaky sometimes. Means he's on check for a key 1, and because there's practically no Amber control on Rewpeskao's deck, he's also on check for key 2. All he has to do is make 6 Amber in those coming 2 turns and then hope that Rewpeskao doesn't find his win condition. Yeah. and Rewpeskao Adri is recognizing the insaneness of the deck. So there's not only the Mars craziness that can happen, but also the rule of 6 Echo Fly. So it goes to 13.
Help from Future Self. That's
yeah. yeah, indeed. Return help. So setting up for the next turn. So Rewpeskao is desperately looking for the cards he needs. Plays a Mother and a Sloppy Lab Work. That's the only 2 things done. And he knows, fine, you take your next turn. I have 1 more turn, and I'm going to go for it.
This is...
Actually, he's got 2 more turns, right?
yeah, because there's no key cheats.
So I'm not going to say it's irrelevant what Aviator does here, as long as he makes a lot of Amber. And then you just have to hope for the best.
Should he take out the Chota?
Should he take out the Shota? I think there's 1 Nature's Call purged. And there's 1 more in the deck. But I don't think in Untamed there's a way to key cheat 3 keys. So, yes, better safe than sorry because you don't need the Ember anyway. But I don't think it's fully necessary. The Mother, though, that one I would try to get rid of. I'm not sure if that's possible.
It's going to be tough.
because the mother gives that one extra card that might make the difference, because it probably will be a Hail Mary. It won't be as certain as the previous one. So turn 4 for Rewpeskao knows he has turn 5 to close out the game, and otherwise it'll be 1-1 in here. Howling Pit, random access archives, and the mother still being alive. That's good.
Could be all he needs.
That's good for people that root for Rewpeskao. Almost halfway through the deck. At the end of the draw, will be halfway through the deck and a little bit further, with 3 cards in archive. There is a pretty good chance that he has it on turn 5. Did fight the Parabite, but the Parabite is also Mars, so with key abduction it would disappear. Maybe not realizing that, or doesn't want to give extra amber. So
all that matters now is, does he have the combo?
Yeah, that's the only thing. So Aviator knows there's almost no amber control. Is going to show off some cool stuff in his deck. Gets the information from Ezra Paz, and I'm glad that we see it. So Soft Landing, Mothership Support, Snufflegator, Tunk, Feeding Pit, Dust Pixie, Ganymede, Archivist, and Mother. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Mars cards and 3 cards in archive.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not sure if he has it here. That makes it. I think it's for sure a Hail Mary. If there's 2 battle fleets in the archives, then there's a very good chance that he might have it. If there's only 1, then it's gonna get tricky. So Rewpeskao has to call Mars, right?
Yeah.
And let's see. 12 cards reveals
battle fleet.
There is 1, and
there's no other battle fleet.
No other battle fleet. 2 of them are in here. Draw 6 cards. Already drew the 6, right? So out of 15, needs to find. It doesn't look like it's there. It doesn't look like it's there. No. So out of 15, had 6 draws and needed to find 1 battle fleet to potentially do it. But even then, it might not have been enough. So we're getting a game 3 here. Turn 5 win for Aviator by just forging keys in the normal way.
Yeah.
So let me just copy those logs again. Game number 2, save. I love it when we go to game 3.
Yeah.
1. Aviator won the game. Yeah, the logs are good. All right. Good to go. Yeah, game 3. For sure, not again. Time Traveler, Intentional Discharge, Xylo, turn 1, right?
We'll see.
Right? What are the odds? So Rewpeskao this time chooses to go second. So that's a change from the first 2 games. Maybe he's feeling like second is good for me. First is not good for Aviator. So like Aviator being first player is a disadvantage for Aviator. So Rewpeskao probably realized that and was like, okay, I'll go second. It's fine. So turn 1 for Aviator finds Connect Home, Transfer, Eldispatch Miner, and Parabite from the Junk Restoration, and returns Parabite, which is also Mars. So probably going into Mars next turn. Only plays Mother.
Ooh.
What does that mean? I have no idea. That's either really good or really bad. Aviator goes to the Mars, plays Destroy Them All. Discards Junk Restoration and plays Dr. Xylo. Has an Intentional Discharge. Batchminder, I guess. Yeah. So the Batchminder played, and not a great turn either. Not what you're looking for. So again, the Nature Skull's there.
Yeah,
Plays 3 cards. I don't know. I must be like still 3 or 4 Mars cards in hand for Rewpeskao that he does not want to play.
it doesn't seem to me like that's an ideal situation for
No,
him.
no, no, no. But why would you only play the Mother then? There must be like maybe 1 or 2 battle fleets already in there. I'm suspecting, but he can't go for it yet. So he's trying to find supporting cards to find the rest. Meanwhile, the Time Traveler was played, and the Xylo and Intentional Discharge. So 12 hand, 12 card hand already for Aviator. Notably, it's turn 3, yet to make his first key. So if he keeps up this pace, we'll finish turn 4 key 1, turn 5 key 2, turn 6. So definitely 5 turns again for Rewpeskao to find what he needs. The question is, can he make as much amber to achieve that, or is there one turn when he cannot go to check? I expect he will be able to easily, because there's not much that Rewpeskao does in the board state here. So already 4 Mars creatures here.
And he's probably holding on to quite a big Mars hand.
Yeah, so this is easily enough to get to the second key check on the next turn, right? So on board already is there. Turn 3, Logos, that's what he wants. He wants another Mother, Howling Pit, or Lab Work, Sloppy Lab Work. There you go, Sloppy Lab Work. Discards a Hunting Witch and archives a card. So after the discard of the Hunting Witch, there were 3 cards left in hand. The clock is ticking. It looks like it's turn 5, do or die again for Rewpeskao, which was the calibrated mark that we mentioned in the preview. So let's see. Aviator recognizes that he needs to slow down Rewpeskao and probably can make enough amber himself. He has to go to check on this turn.
Here we go. We see what's in his hand. He got 2 battle fleets.
Yeah. See, those were probably there from the start, right?
Yeah. Nepseed, Vigor, Library of Battle, and Feeding Pit.
I think you have a turn, because you see the Skippy play, to maybe play down the Nepseed here if there's no other way. So is this the first time we see Time Traveler played in Logos? Which is also an option. So again, let's look at the hand. Ammonia Clouds, Feeding Pit, Library of Babel, Vigor, Nepseed. What is the R on? What is the R on here?
He's got Destroy Them All and Remote Access.
Yeah, so Rewpeskao is now thinking, and rightfully so, because what do you do, right? Do you just play the Nepseed and hope that it survives? Or do you play a Library of Babel, which actually doesn't really do anything?
Yeah.
But just it draws you 1 extra card. Because you're not drawing any new cards if you play only 1 card, right?
Yeah.
Ammonia Clouds could get rid of the board.
It's not going to kill the Time Traveler, though, thanks to the Batchminder.
True that. But Aviator did give Rewpeskao 1 extra turn by going to 4 amber. Interesting. Yeah, wait, TT is a Logos card? Yeah, I don't know. And I think those battle fleets were probably there from the start, right? Because that explains those awkward turns that we were speculating. Are the battle fleets already there?
Yeah.
Tough call. What would you do in this situation, Strawman?
Well, obviously he's the one who's here. He's the one who's playing and not me. probably for a reason. But I would go for the Nepseed, and
Yeah,
which he did.
yeah. I think you're right. I think for a bit only have 40 minutes left, so the Nepseed probably is the best option, and then you pray that the Destroy Them All isn't there, because you're not
Or
drawing
remote access,
anything new.
because remote access is just going to
Oh,
speed Aviator up. So it's a big
remote access
gamble.
is also there. So there is three cards that interact, right? There is the Skippy, which is on board. We've got the remote access that would be not devastating, but more or less, yeah. Um, and oh, forgot the
Oh
elusive.
no.
Oh. Well, anyway, does it really? Does it really matter? He was gonna kill the Xylo.
I I
Um,
personally I would have taken out the time traveler.
I honestly, right now, I think Aviator will get to check every turn easily. So,
Yeah.
yes, this was not ideal and it was a bit of a mistake. I don't think it's game losing. Um, your Amber really doesn't matter. It's all about cycling through. So, did draw one card because the Nepseed was played and the Vigor. If the Nepseed survives, that gives Rewpeskao a chance. But Mars has to destroy them all.
If you
So
get or a remote access, remote access would be a lot worse.
I think he's digging. Digging. So the Time Traveler comes down 2 cards from the Xylo after he suicided the Time Traveler. Um, Draws 3 cards off of that.
And not killing the time traveler was the right decision. I don't know what I was thinking, because
Yeah,
that's one of the rule of 6 uses that he has from time traveler is using it to get it destroyed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't think the Destroy Them All is there, because if it was, you would have played it quite fast, I'd imagine. Um, does find quite some cards and some Ember, so like it was gonna go to check regardless. Um, 2 more turns left for Rewpeskao to find what he needs. Are you now considering going for it because you have a limited window of opportunity with the Nepseed? The Nepseed sticking around 1 more turn is a lot more unlikely,
Yeah.
but we do know that the 9 cards in hand cannot get rid of it now. Looks like. Unless the turn's not done. The turn is not done. The turn is not done. So
No.
all that speculation was for nothing. Draws more cards, more than halfway through the deck. On average, the Destroy Them All would have been there. I don't see it yet. Don't see it yet. There's another draw. So, ooh.
Every time that discharge comes out, it's more and more likely.
Yeah. The damage pips taking out the Choda. 10 cards still in the draw. The Nepseed is a real chance here. So we know that there's technically 3 battle fleets, right? And
Yeah.
at least 3 supporting Mars cards. So you can play 3 of them. Definitely draw 10 at the bare minimum. I think you might want to, depending on what he drew, maybe he wants to go for it because the Nepseed surviving another turn, I don't think it's very realistic.
No. Well, how many more discharges does he have? He doesn't have help from future self, so he's got 1 more intentional discharge in his deck.
But remote access is also there, right? So
yeah,
either remote access or.
but he didn't draw any cards at the end of his turn.
But he was in Mars, so he could not play remote access. Or is the remote access enhanced?
No, remote access is Mars picked.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good information. Okay, he's gonna go for it, right? Goes Mars, plays Battle Fleet. Did he draw into any new cards? No, those were the cards that he already had. Um, so returns the battle fleet to hand. Didn't find anything. Oh, did find another battle fleet, I
Oh
think.
yeah, he did. He did.
He did. But I'm
Is he
not
gonna be
sure
enough?
if that's gonna be it. I think he's a little bit short. Draws 5 cards. Pretty bad. Yeah. There could be 10 Mars cards in hand. But that'd be 9 draws, and then it reshuffles, and it just doesn't reshuffle. What do you do now?
Oh, it's.
Um, you
I
can
don't
key
know.
abduction, and you get 1 key. You can make a lot of amber. The Shoda is in the discard. So, how do you outrace?
Oh, I would
No,
have. I would have ammonia clouded first. Uh,
it really it doesn't. Yeah, it does matter actually. It does matter because a lot of the Mars can capture amber, or yeah, he needed to, but there's no other key cheat here. So whatever you do, I don't think you can win here.
well, if he. No, you're right. Choda's in the discard.
Yeah, yeah, Shoda is in the discard. So uh, the draw was not ideal for Battlefleet. So I think this might be the game for Aviator. Yeah, and Rewpeskao recognizes it as well. Um, he could have waited one more turn for the
Yeah.
Nepseed, but I think realistically that Nepseed was dead, right? So I think
No, I don't. I think the Nepseed was gonna survive because if he.
eh,
Because he didn't have any more draws, did he?
he can you can suicide your.
Oh, that's right. You could have suicided the time traveler and drawn a couple more cards.
You're conceding, so GG, well played. Just play it out. Aviator's still scared of something, but I don't think he has to be. But let's see. Let's see. Make your game for stats if you want. Yeah. Please do. Sure. So, but I think he could have drawn more cards in the Mars and or logos there, and then it was a huge risk. I think the best chance was to gamble that turn. I think he picked the right moment. That's what I think. So now there's a Geistor turn. It'd be interesting to know if if the remote accessor was there. And as I say that, I hear that Strawman's power has died. So I'm now by myself here. But I've had the pleasure of co-hosting with Strawman. Yeah. So maybe he'll come back, maybe not. Key abduction gets purged. We know that everything is irrelevant pretty much for this game, but still playing it out to see what lines of play can be done, getting some reps in is always useful. So the Parabyte also there to increase the key cost, so maybe even not allowing the second key here by reaping and capturing. And indeed, that's what happens. Rewpeskao is a big hand. Gonna throw down all his mothers, all the lab works, and the Howling Pit probably. But too little, too late. And game number 3 is going to Aviator. Very close, highly contested match. Congratulations to Aviator for taking this game home with 2-1. I'll let you 10 seconds if you want to concede. I don't think that's going to happen. We all know what's happening here. So GG, well played. Great game to watch. Not a lot of interaction, but highly a tense game. So the tension and the decisions of when to go for it or when to do what was still there. So even though the decks don't interact with each other, the flow or the momentum of the game does. So really, really cool to see how both players handled that there. While I save the logs, I am going to see if I can get Strawman back in. So bear with me if I don't answer right away. So it's always interesting to see what these players say afterwards, right? So he had to try. The draw was bad. Let me ask a question. Was the remote access / destroy them all in hand? Or were you able to draw into it?
Hey,
you're back. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Power just completely died.
Okay. Well, you only missed like 2 minutes. He didn't get remote access, or so. As I was typing that, he bottom 10 cards. But was there a way to draw or not? Yeah. Yeah, because I think you may have been right then, because Aviator also doesn't seem to think that he was going to find it.
It was possible he could have found it.
It was possible, so. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's still the right call to go for it at that moment. That was the best chance to win it. And if the Mars cards came a bit earlier, possibly it would have been GG for Rewpeskao, and he would have pulled it off.
Yeah. So but it would have pretty much been guaranteed it if he'd waited a turn, though.
Yeah. So Grishhammer says it seemed tricky for Rewpeskao. He had the pieces, but chaining yourself for so long to try to get critical mass is difficult. Yeah, and like we said, I think we speculated on the battle fleets being there almost from the start.
Yeah.
And that's like, you're happy and unhappy with that, because you know you've got the pieces, but if the other Mars cards keep clogging up and you don't find your efficiency, or not the lab works, the sloppy lab works, you are chaining yourself, and you are on a timer against the Aviator here. So great series of games. Any remarks, Strawman, before we're gonna close this one off?
I just think that goalkeeping combo there. I was not expecting the goalkeeping combo. I thought it would just be Mars, Mars, Mars. But the goalkeeping combo really helped Aviator out that second game.
It did, and then that is where you see the power of going to check every turn, and it's funny how this might be less effective in Archon, because in Alliance, usually either people build around locking out or comboing themselves, but do not necessarily build for Amber control.
Yeah.
And Aviator probably recognized this and was like, I'm going to build a deck that is so fast that it gets to check almost every turn, and put a timer on their win condition. And then if there's not a lot of Amber control, like 0.9, then that is going to get me the win. And it's already proven 2 times that that works.
It worked out.
So GG, well played, Aviator. Going on to that must be the top 8, right? Top 8? Yeah.
I believe so.
Top 8 for Aviator. Thanks for co-hosting this with me. Another awesome series of games. Looking forward.
You having me.
Yeah, no problem. So sooner or later you will have your own Twitch channel, right?
I already do, but I've only had like one video so far.
When it's ready for the masses, right?
When it's ready.
So look forward to that, people. And thanks for watching, and have a good evening, good day, wherever you are. And see you next time. Bye-bye.